Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptomancer, where we feature content on play-to-earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And in today's video, we're going to continue our Chaos Legion updated tier list for the Gold League level, and we're going to talk about the Earth Splinter today. And yeah, this is just the next in our series of Splinter coverage here for these Chaos Legion cards. And let's look at the tier list and hop into some of the details. And this list will be provided for offline use in the video description below as well, should you wish to review it outside of the video. And let's start with our S tier amazing cards. And the first card here that we're going to talk about is Grund. Now, Grund is one of my favorite cards, to be transparent here, and he's just a fun card to use, and it really excels in scenarios that, for example, have Enrage or Blast, and his stats at 10 mana are 4 damage, 3 speed, and 12 health, but he has Twin Strike, so that 4 damage, assuming it's not buffed by any other things like Inspire or what have you, is going to strike twice. So it's really either 4 damage on 2 monsters or 8 damage on 1. And he also has Trample at the max level gold stat line. So Grund can just run through an entire team potentially with like the Stampede rule set, given the right circumstances. And this is just a fun card to use, and yeah, I'm a big fan of it, and it goes without saying that Grund is an S tier card. Honestly, he's got legendary card stats and an epic body here, so it's, in my mind, a great card and a great value currently. The next S tier card I want to talk about is the Mycelic Infantry, and this card is surprisingly good. So the Mycelic Infantry at the gold level has some great stats for 8 mana. It has 5 attack damage, 1 speed, 3 armor, and 9 health, with the shield ability and Giant Killer. This card is great when paired with Mylor and using the shield ability and its strong health pool and armor. And it can really work well, certainly in reverse speed battles, as well as battles with Enrage. And even when facing a heavy magic attack from your opponent, it still has a decent amount of health at 9 health to kind of weather that storm for a decent amount of time. And against any other enemies with archery or melee damage, just the 9 health with the shield is very, very strong, and this is a great tank for the Earth team. The next S tier card is the Goblin Psychic, and here the Goblin Psychic is probably in the running with the Murdali Guardian as the best support healer in the Chaos Legion set. And let's take a look at the Goblin Psychic at the gold level. So this card is really quite fantastic for synergy purposes, working with Obsidian. For 6 mana, you're getting 2 magic damage, a little slow at 1 speed, but decent health at 6 health as well. But what you're getting here is you're getting a tank heal, you're getting Affliction for the opponent, and you're also getting Silence. So working with Obsidian, you're going to be doing 3 magic damage. You're going to be stopping the heal on your opponent at the tank level, and you're also going to be silencing them. Like, for example, if they're also running Obsidian, which is a great counterplay, and you're also getting the tank heal as well. So just a really, really good card, and certainly S tier, no doubt about it. The last S tier card for Earth is perhaps one of its best, and that's Queen Mycelia. And Queen Mycelia is a legendary card here, and if you look at her stats at the gold level, again, just really great synergistic stats here. At 4 mana, you're getting 1 magic damage and 1 speed, which isn't great, 4 health is also reasonable for 4 mana, but look at the support abilities you're getting here. You're getting Protect, you're getting Triage, and you're getting Amplify. So Amplify works really well with Mylor on the Earth team with Queen Mycelia, and certainly the support abilities of Protect and Triage at the 4 mana level are extraordinary support ability combination there. So really a great card and sure to be meta for the foreseeable future. Now, if we go to the A tier list here, we're going to start with the Hill Giant. And the Hill Giant at the gold level is also quite good. Here at 3 mana, you're getting 2 melee attack damage at 3 speed with 8 health. There's no armor here, but you get a pretty decent health pool for 3 mana, no doubt about it. And you also get the stun ability, and the stun ability at 3 speed is not super slow, so it's actually reasonable stun timing there. So for 3 mana, this is a really good tank. Yeah, I mean, you really can't complain about 8 health at 3 mana here with stun. The next card at the A tier level is the Goblin Tower. And the Goblin Tower is another good card for Earth. At the gold level, you're getting 4 archery damage at 7 mana. The speed is a little slow at 1, so you're not always going to hit. But you also have pretty good durability here at 4 armor and 5 health. So it's a good combination of offense and defense. And for 7 mana, you can kind of pair this up, for example, with a Mythica Headhunter on the Earth team and really put out some decent archery damage in the last 2 spots of your lineup. So I do like the Goblin Tower. Just the one drawback to be aware of is the speed is a little slow, so you may miss a fast tank. The next A tier card we want to talk about is the Venari Scout. Now the Venari Scout at the gold level here is certainly respectable, right? At 3 mana, you're getting 2 melee damage with opportunity at 4 speed and 5 health with dodge. So it's certainly fast enough and it's certainly elusive enough to potentially survive a few attacks as well. For 3 mana at 2 melee with opportunity, definitely a good card and certainly worthy of A tier for the Earth team. The next A tier card is the Mycelic Slipspawn, and this is a taunt card for Earth. And if you look at the Mycelic Slipspawn at gold level, it's also quite good. It's 9 mana, 3 magic damage, so works really well with Obsidian. It's got 3 speed and 11 health. It's got the taunt ability, and it's got also the force field ability. So this is a really good card. I really like this card better than the Wave Brood, for example, in the water splinters. So I give this card a little bit of an edge, just because it synergizes more with Obsidian, and it does have a nice force field on there as well with the taunt. So this is also a very solid card for Earth, especially when combined with the Spirit Hoarder with Triage as well. The Regalarrington is the next A tier card, and the Regalarrington at gold level is a solid card for sure. You're getting 2 magic damage base at 5 mana. You're getting 6 speed and flight. So this is a really good card that you can put at the back end of your lineup, similar to like the 10E Striker on the Fire Splinter, and you're getting a decent health pool as well at 8 health. So, for 5 mana, 2 magic damage with the decent health and the above average speed and flight, really a strong card, very solid. and definitely sure to find its way into many lineups with Obsidian. The next card for Earth at the A tier is Hunter Jargs. And Hunter Jargs at the gold level definitely is respectable. Um, you're getting for 6 mana 4 archery damage with Snipe. Speed is a little low at 2 speed, but you have 8 health, and you also have True Strike. So you're not going to miss your big shots with Hunter Jargs here. And if you compare Hunter Jargs to something like a base level Medica Headhunter, right? I mean, you're getting equivalent damage with Snipe, and certainly good survivability as well. So I really like Hunter Jargs here, as you could put a pretty solid archer-based team together with these Chaos Legion cards for Earth between the Goblin Tower, Hunter Jargs, and perhaps at the modern league level, the Mythica Headhunter. So definitely respectable archery damage coming out of the Earth team. And the last A tier card for Earth is the Fiend, the Fungus Fiend here. Again, if you want to compete at the gold level competitively, you're going to want a Fiend in your deck at least a level 1 for sure. I mean, that's all you really needed at level 1, and it's a good, solid card. Now, if we look at the B tier, we have the Venari Knifer. And the Venari Knifer is an interesting card. It's 6 mana. It has 3 melee damage, 6 speed, and 8 health. And so it's got decent, reasonable melee damage for a tank. You've got Backfire with 6 speed, and you've got Thorns. So you have extra melee damage that you can certainly dish out if you're hit with a melee attack, or if you dodge a archery or a melee attack. So you have extra offensive output. My problem with the Venari Knifer is, the 6 speed isn't necessarily enough to get consistent dodges for the backfire there, and then the 8 health pool with no armor. If this is a frontline tank for your Earth team, it's not going to last very long, and that's my main reason why I'm not a super fan of the Venari Knifer. Is it usually takes just maybe 3 hits, maybe 4 hits at most, and this tank is gone from your front line, and it's just not. It just doesn't stick around long enough, and it doesn't do enough damage in my mind to make it a great play in most circumstances. So that's why I've rated the Venari Knifer at the decent, but certainly B tier level. The next B tier card is the Acid Shooter. And the Acid Shooter, again, I would say that this card specifically at the gold level is not great. I mean, it's not terrible either, right? It's got, for 2 mana, you're getting 2 archery damage, 3 speed, and 5 health with Scatter Shot and Cripple. So for the mana cost, it's definitely good, right? It's got good stats for 2 mana. You can't really complain about 5 health and 2 archery damage at 2 mana. But where the Acid Shooter really shines is at the diamond level and above, where it gets poison. And once at diamond and above, then I would really bump this for the mana cost, probably to the S tier with poison. It just puts it over the top, because you can spread that poison all around your opponent, and it's really strong. But archery damage with Scatter Shot, just not reliable. It's good value for the mana cost, I would say, for 2 mana, but it's not a must play, and for that reason at gold, I'm listing it as a B tier card. Now for the C tier, we have the Mycelic Morphoid. This card is kind of meh for me because, again, it's I guess you can't expect much from a 1 mana card, but Its stats are 2 melee damage, 2 speed, and 2 health with thorns. Thorns is really what makes this card, I guess, um, a C tier versus a worse tier, because you can stick this at the back end of your lineup and help protect against sneak and do some damage, especially if you're not running Mylor for Earth. So it's not terrible in that regard. Um, it's just there. It's an option that you can play, but it's not, the first option. It's not something that's giving you a lot of benefit or synergy, something like a Creeping Ooze. But it's not terrible either. And for the legendary airdrop card, which I'm not able to put the picture here under tier maker, but if we look at the legendary airdrop card for Earth, that's going to be Isa the Fanged. And Isa the Fanged at gold level is a 4 mana, 2 archery damage, 4 speed, 3 health with scavenge and sneak and stun. And I would rate Isa the Fang, if we look at the tier level, I would rate her as a B tier. Honestly, from a legendary airdrop perspective, I think she's probably one of the weaker cards. And the reason for that is, I'm not a super fan of scavenge on archery units. Another one that comes to mind is the Venari Seedsmith for Earth. I'm not. If it was, for example, like Dr. Blight with scavenge with magic, where you could take advantage of that scavenge when you got to the front of the team, then it would be a different story. But archery unit with scavenge, I'm not a big fan of. And then sneak, 2 archery damage with sneak is certainly fine. I just don't see the stun coming into effect as a great value at all times. So stunning the backline card for your opponent is certainly probably not as valuable as stunning the tank in many cases. So for that purpose, I would rate Isa as a B tier card. It's certainly fine as a legendary card. It's just not one that's going to be necessarily a difference maker for your Earth team. Now, I did also get a request in a recent video to talk about the Chaos Legion reward cards. Again, I can't put them on the tier maker picture at the moment, but let's talk about those 3 cards quickly, and I'll give you my take on those Chaos Legion reward cards. So the first Chaos Legion reward card I want to talk about is the Pelacor Mercenary. And the Pelacor Mercenary, in my mind, is an S tier card for Earth. At 7 mana, you're getting 3 melee attack damage, 4 speed, 1 armor, and 10 health. You're getting flight along with the 4 speed, so it can be pretty elusive at times. And it also helps in certainly earthquake battles as well. And you've got the self-heal here. So it's basically maybe an improved version at a little bit higher cost of a Flesh Golem for Earth. And this is just a really great card. And I think it's undervalued, generally speaking. And it's definitely S tier in my mind with all of those combined attributes. The next reward card on the Chaos Legion side is the Venari Seedsmith here. And the Venari Seedsmith is, in my mind, probably a decent card tier list. At 5 mana, you're getting 3 archery damage, 3 speed, and 4 health. It's certainly decent with poison, but again, I don't see the scavenger ability as a great synergy with an archery unit here. So for me, a archery unit with 3 archery damage and poison at 5 mana is just decent, and that's why I would rate this as a B tier card. And the last Chaos Legion reward card is the legendary Jin Bilka. At gold level, it's a 3 mana cost, 2 magic damage, 1 speed, 2 health with Void, Weaken, and Camouflage. And here, I would actually rate Jin Bilka kind of on the borderline. I'm actually going to rate it as a B tier, a decent card. And the reason for that is at the gold level, there's a decent amount of magic reflect. And if you use Jin Bilka at the gold level here with Obsidian, your magic damage is 3, which is really good, right? So 3 magic damage with Obsidian at 3 mana with Weaken is certainly very good. But when you account for the magic reflect that's out there, when you're doing 3 magic damage, basically as soon as you hit a magic reflect on Jin Bilka, even with the scavenge ability, Jin Bilka basically kills himself with 1 attack. And that's why, with Obsidian in the Chaos Legion rule set, I actually think his ability went down a little bit just from a dependability perspective because of Magic Reflect. It basically one shot and Magic Reflect Jin Bilka is gone. So, for 3 mana, you don't want to just get one shot and be done. So, from that perspective, I'm rating him as a B tier in my mind, and it's really because of the Magic Reflect dangers that he falls in here. The Void just does not help him with Obsidian. So that is my take on Earth in the Chaos Legion card set. What are your opinions? Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video has been beneficial, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more timely content around Splinterlands, and we'll see you tomorrow in the next video as we continue this Chaos Legion Gold League level tier list. Until next time, keep stacking those stats.